Did you know what this creature is? What they do is absolutely mind-blowing. These tiny ants create living bridges by linking their bodies together, gripping each other's legs like tiny Legos. When one ant feels a gap, it knows exactly where to position itself. As water flows underneath, they constantly adjust to stay stable. And they do this without any leader. Entire colonies can march across these living bridges. We should learn more from them about teamwork.
So get Proverbs 6 and 6.
Got it.
All right, Shalom Akyam, Shalom Shalom, which means peace in Hebrew. Okay, and before we start this lesson, we want to give all honor and all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rahakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all you brothers out there pushing the scriptures in truth and in sincerity. Okay, so the Spirit kind of got us together, animated us to come together. We had something planned, you know, just long story short, we're gonna go take this course from this man out here in the Inland Empire out here in California. This man, he's a beekeeper, and we were gonna go basically study the bees. And the mission got shut. The mission got shut down because that guy, he basically, you know, he caught some hell. He experienced a fire, and it just wasn't allowed for us to go and take this course and learn nature, learn from the bees today. So we'll reschedule that later. And then so, like the brother Dawadaba brought out, let's just turn this, you know, energy into something fruitful and do a lesson. And so like how I said, we're gonna go into studying some bees and collect some honey, some real natural honey and stuff like that. We're gonna go into a topic that I recently discovered, you know, because the Spirit kind of animates you to, you know, learn new things every day and produce lessons. And that's what we're here about. That's what we're here for, to edify our people. We direct these lessons to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true Hebrew Israelites, according to the Bible and prophecy. Okay, so let's go into these scriptures about how we can learn from the animals, and you know, referring to the scripture Proverbs 6 and 6 about learning from the ant, and see how it can apply to us and how we move in the Spirit. So let's read this out.
Yep. This is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise."
That's right, because one thing that we can learn from the ant is that an ant is always busy and occupied in what? In finding a good function in the body, in the colony, right? Ants, they rest in the winter, but they work the rest of the year. They gather fruit, they gather water, they gather anything that they need, you know, to take care of the colony. It's basically, you know, a fully functioning society, right? And when it comes to an ant colony, there's always new fruit coming in daily, right? So just like how we produce videos, there's always going to be new fruit watching, right? And that's what we're here for. We're here to animate the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to come into the fold, to come into the vineyard, right? Learn who we are. Learn that the true names, right, of God is Yahweh, which means He exists, right? And Yahushai, which means He saves. Okay, those are the true names of who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, right? Yahweh and Yahushai. Learn those true names. Learn of your history. Learn of the 12 tribes. And find a talent, find a function for you to come into the fold and teach, right? Because how it tells you in the book of Sirach, I have not only labored for myself to gather wisdom.
I was looking for that.
Oh, see, as a spirit, right? I have not worked for myself to gather wisdom, but I also work for them that desire wisdom. And this is what we're about, because this is for the elect, okay? Like how, you know, the apostles on down and us in Great Millstone, we push these lessons to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So go ahead.
Can I bring that up?
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 17. "Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
Matter of fact, jump a couple of scriptures up, bro.
Okay.
Where it says that I was a conduit. Just a couple of scriptures up, right there where you at. It's like the last. I want to say like 30 or yeah.
Oh no. Okay. So it's a different one.
Let me see where you was at.
17. Consider there's a similar one.
Okay, here. I'll help you find it right now.
Okay. Maybe if I go to the precepts here.
Okay. Sirach 24 and 30.
24, okay.
Sirach 24 and 30. Right? Just like how I was saying, you know, the apostles started teaching the scriptures, right, after 3 days and a half. And that was the Spirit of the Lord, right, according to Revelations. That was the Spirit of the Lord so that this ministry can begin. And there's, like how I said, there's always new fruit coming in. And they started producing lessons for us. They started teaching us the scriptures, teaching us the prophecies and breakdowns. And then now, once we've inherited this knowledge, we can pass it down to the new fruit and younger brothers. Okay? So, yeah, Sirach 24 and 30.
30, okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 24 and verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
I also came out of a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden.
Right, because a brook starts off small, right? It's a little small stream, right, from a river. And then it nourishes the smaller herbs, right? So right here is going to give you the perspective of you being fed, you being nourished with the word, right? With the water, right? He that believeth in me, like how does the scripture say, right? Rivers shall flow out of the belly, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So go ahead, Akia.
Yeah, this is verse 31. It says, I said, I will water my best garden and will water abundantly my garden bed.
Mm-hmm, go ahead.
And lo, my brook became a river.
So the brook became a river. Go ahead.
And my river became a sea.
And a river became a sea. Okay? Because this is something that we have to do. We have to grow in the scriptures. We have to get these breakdowns and explain the prophecies, right? But once we inherited all this knowledge and wisdom, we have to be able to teach and produce these lessons, okay? What is that scripture in Sirach where it says, wisdom that is hid, damn, it's at the tip of my tongue. Yeah, wisdom that is hid, something is not valuable. So we have to bring this out. Okay, we have to make known and we have to confess Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in this world. Okay? Go ahead right there.
Okay, it says verse 32, and I will make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off.
Right, because this water is spiritual, right? But now it's talking about the teachings of the scriptures. Go ahead.
I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and will leave it to all ages forever.
Yep, I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom.
That's right. So here we are learning from the ants, right? That example from Proverbs 6 and 6. Yep. Oh, you got something? Go ahead.
That one you had that you called out there. This is Ecclesiasticus for Sirach 20 and 30. It says, wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up, what profit is in them both?
Yep, that's right, because we have to multiply our talents. We have to teach the fruit. That's why we're here for. Okay, the scriptures say, wear out thy doorstep, right? Talking about seeking what the elders are talking about, seeking what our leaders are talking about. Okay, that's what we have to do as the younger fruit, right? But soon we're beginning to take these positions as leaders, right? So we have to teach and instruct the younger fruit. Right? Because it's like a role that we do. We're leaders. We're a whole army. We're a colony of prophets. We're a school of prophets. Okay? Go ahead.
Says, verse 31, it says, better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Because if you hide your wisdom, like the parable of the talents, you know, Yahweh Shah is going to come back and collect and ask you, what have you been doing? Like the precept said that come to my mind is, blessed is he that I find so doing. We have to be occupied in prophecy. Okay?
I got this other precept.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 30 and 25. It says, the ants are a people, not a strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. It says the Connies are but a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. This is just where the verse 25, where it was just basically saying that they store, like you brought out earlier, where they were storing in the winter, you know, I mean, they store it in the summer. So working when like how the scriptures talk about where in season and out of season, you know, we do this no matter what's going on. So I'm gonna read it again, verse 25. It says, the ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. That was it.
Kanak, yeah. So I have this information I want to share about the ants. Okay, this is from NPR Science, the reference from the University of Colorado in Denver. And this is what it says. It says, from NPR's reporting on University of Colorado Denver researches, the ants touch antennas with their nestmates before battle, right? Because one of the things that we have to do is we have to animate each other, because we're about to go into this war, right? Into these end times. We have to go with a strong mind and fight. Stay strong for the Lord, right? That's what the scriptures say. We have to, you know, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, is what I mean. Okay, we got these trials coming up, talking about the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, right? We have these tests coming up. Okay, so this is one of the things that the ants do before battle, because we know ants, they go to war as well, right? It says ants touch antennas with their nest mates before battle, and this actually rises their serotonin and octopine levels, chemically bonding them and preparing them to fight together. And after the battle, warrior ants carry their wounded comrades home so they can recover and fight again. The number saved each day is roughly equal to the number born that day. So the ant colony is constantly growing, making rescue a major factor in the colony's survival. So in it, you know, because I'm reading this through my notes, the reference of Proverbs 6:6, right? Did we read it all the way to verse 8?
No.
Can we read it again?
Yeah, this is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in summer and gathereth her food in the harvest.
That's right, because one of the reasons why ants are able to survive is because we have leaders and we have visions, right? Ants have leaders, and the ants have a vision of what they need to accomplish, right? Just like how it tells you in Proverbs, is it 14? It says that where there is no vision, the people perish. We do have an understanding of what's coming, right? Because here we are preparing our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, for the coming of the Lord. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. That is what we do. That's why we do this ministry, right? And Lord willing, we're part of the elect, because we do this work to obtain a crown, to obtain that salvation and immortality, right? Do you know where that's at or no?
No, I'll look.
I got it.
You got one? Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yep, you can speak on it.
Yeah, so what's going on now, man, is the things that are transpiring in the world, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, all these are things that's showing that, hey, we in them times. So the vision is set for appointed time. This is the appointed time that's set for, you know?
Yep, that's right. Okay, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Yep, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he, because one of the laws, right, is that we have to go out into the highways and the byways. We have to produce these lessons, right? We have to make it known that the Lord is coming back. We have to give the people of Israel a warning that if you don't prepare, right, when the Lord comes back, judgment is going to fall upon you. Okay? But if you do and you repent from your evil, from sin, then you have a chance of being saved. That's what this is about. Okay?
I got a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. To back your point up about before they go to war. You know, these epistles like this, it's an exhortation. You know, keep your head up, Jake. You know, yeah, we all going through things, but we have a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Yep, that's right, Akia.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 3:17, it says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So that's what we're doing, you know.
Yep.
We out here, you know, we had the opportunity, we giving our people the warning because we know eventually this warning is not going to be available. You know, like the scriptures speak about where it's going to be that famine of word. So, hey, we're obligated to do this, you know. This is our job. This is what we put on the earth to do, to warn our people, you know, whether they hear or forbear.
Yep, that's right, Akia. That's exactly what we have to do. Matter of fact, can somebody get Deuteronomy 20? Because, you know, like the ants, before they go into war, they comfort each other, right? Let's read a little bit of Deuteronomy 20, because Deuteronomy 20, it's Moses talking to the children of Israel, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, about how we're about to go into battle right now, and there's certain things that we have to make sure we have locked in, right? So these are some procedures before we go to battle that we have to consider. Go ahead.
Start up top.
Yep.
Okay, this is Deuteronomy 20 and verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power is with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
That's right, because like how the ants, like how I read, the ants, they have handshakes. Ants, they salute each other, and that animates them to go hard in battle. And this is Moses basically giving us a salute and words of comfort before we go into battle, right? It's spiritual. Go ahead.
And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people.
Yeah, so we have to teach. We have to comfort each other, right? We have to tell each other, like, look, man, the Lord's gonna be with us, man. We can't doubt, right? We gotta be strong. We're in the business of sacrificing, right? We gotta let things go, right? The Lord is with us. Yahweh Shai said that He is with us even until the end of the world. Go ahead.
And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble.
This is important. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, nor be troubled. Okay? Because, yeah, it sounds scary. You know, 1,000 fall on your left and 10,000 on your right. It sounds crazy. But the thing about it, the Lord is going to animate us with His Spirit so that we can endure everything. Okay? You know, we're going to be basically turned up in the Spirit. Okay? You know, we read the books of Samuel, Kings. We read the prophets, right? We read the judgments that happened in the wilderness, right? Nobody else meditates about death and terror more than us. You know what I mean? So it should be something common, and we have to be able to process death. Okay, it's like the last time we had the mass camp, that's what the Elder Barak had brought out, right? We have to be able to, you know, see and deal with our family members dying and stuff like that. Why? Because it's the judgment of the Lord. Okay, we're the only ones that actually hearken onto His voice, right? So continue right there.
Yeah, it says, Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, your power is He that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
Right, that's right, bro. Can you read that verse again? 4?
Yeah, verse 4. It says, Deuteronomy 20 and verse 4. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, your power is He that goeth with you.
Is He that goeth with you. Go ahead.
To fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
That's right, because one of the things that we have to respect is wait upon Him. Wait until Yahweh Shai rises up to the battle, and then He gives us the green light. We can't, you know, go into that mode and be carnal and take this battle for ourselves. We can't do that. Okay? It's when the Lord permits us, and when the Lord tells us, okay, it's time, right? And then we know that the scriptures talk about that some of us are going to get spiritual power, and we have to believe that. Okay? We have to absolutely believe, right, without a shadow of a doubt, that some of us is going to be able to fly. Some of us is going to be able to lift cars and move heavy objects, right? Shoot laser out of our eyes, right? Because that's what's in the scriptures, okay? The prophets, right, with Yahweh Shai, they had spiritual power. Okay, Peter and the disciples, they had spiritual power. Okay, and what spiritual power? Spiritual power is manipulation of elements. Okay, with the authority of the Lord. That's what it is. Okay, we're gonna be able to be like Wisdom of Solomon, right? Sparks amongst the stubble. Okay, and then so this topic is, you know, we should be talking about this, animating each other, right? Animating each other. We're a colony. We're a brotherhood. All right, because we're gonna be entering into some tough times. Go ahead, Akia.
I got one. This
Okay.
is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 9. Ye that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
That's right. That's right. You know, one thing that has been in my mind lately is Yahweh Shai's miracles. And a brother from DC, I forget his name. Okay, a brother from DC had made a beautiful lesson talking about one of the reasons or the lesson behind Yahweh Shai turning water to wine was because when you have no resources or when there's a lack of resources, Yahweh Shai is going to come through. And that's what we expect, all right? Because we're about to enter into this enter into a famine right now, right? Because of this Strait of Hormuz. Because of what's going on in the world and the war and all this conflict. Okay, there's going to be a lack of bread, there's going to be a lack of water, there's going to be a lack of resources, but we, right, with our faith, expect the Lord to perform miracles to save us, to help us in these times of trouble. Go ahead.
Back in Deuteronomy 20 and verse 5 now, it says, And the officer shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard, and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto the house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her?
Yeah, because all this is going into the qualifications. What can eliminate you from participating in this battle, man? And we know that the scriptures talk about it. Matter of fact, can you get it in Matthew's, where it says, if thy eye be single? Thy light. Let's see.
6 and 22.
Can you read
This
it?
is Matthew 6 and 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light.
So we know that we have to be fully focused in this, right? He that hath a woman be as thou have none. Okay? We have to be fully focused in this word. We have to be fully focused and be able to sacrifice and come to camp, come to work, right? Participate in the Lord's vineyard. Okay? This is what we have to do. We have to have a single mind and be in one accord so that the body can be saved as a whole. Okay, is there more on that?
Yeah. It says, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
Yeah, so we have to be in one accord, man. And in that way, the Lord will pour out his spirit, okay, and be with us, right? Like the example you gave out, how the ants made a bridge. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Well, that's all it was. Just basically, the ants, they made an actual bridge from point A to point B over water, you know, and it's we looked it up. It's through the exoskeleton that they're able to produce basically air bubbles so that they can breathe underwater. You know, that's amazing, man. That's like the brother was saying. That's spiritual powers, man.
Yeah, right. And ants can lift up to 1,000 times its own weight.
Yeah.
From weighing a couple ounces to lifting up, you know, full branches and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, all these animals, they got all kind of what we would consider like a superpower. Like a dog, they could smell, and like we was going to go look at the bees. The bees, they could smell 100 times more than we can. So
Right.
you just like, damn. Now I understand why they said don't wear certain things, you know, certain fragrances.
Right. Yeah, because we're gonna go and participate in this class, and that was one of the things. We can't use deodorant. We can't use no type of oils or fragrances or any smell goods, because it'll confuse the bees, and they might want to check us. You know. So yeah, you know, man, Lord's will, we can reschedule that B class, because you know, shit, I would want to learn how to make my own honey, like how we was talking about, you know. And so let's start circling around with iron sharpening iron. It's Proverbs 27 and 17. You know, and brothers, you brothers can read more on Deuteronomy 20 about the preparedness of war and how Moses talked to the children of Israel. You know, but this is what we was about. You know, we were having spiritual conversation about ants. We couldn't take that class, but you know, the Spirit animated us to do this lesson and be fruitful. Go ahead, Ak.
This is Proverbs 27 and verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
That's right, because we have to be there for one another, like how the ants, right? They give each other a handshake, you know. And based on this information that I got, if when the ants go to war and some of them are injured or hurt or lost a limb, right? Ants, right, or friends, they're there for the ants so that they can be rehabilitated. Okay, that's one thing that's so surprising about, you know, learning about animals and stuff. The ants help each other get back on the horse, so to speak. Okay, and we have to be there for our brothers. We have to be there for the body of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is what we're about, because it's getting down to the nitty gritty, right? And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is basically is trying us to see what we're made of. Okay, trying us to see if we're fully dedicated to Him. Okay, us as men, we have to do this ministry, right? Put our house and family, our wives in order, our kids in order, you know, and may we be part of the elect. Okay, so anybody got anything else?
No.
You got anything else, Satya? Khan, so with that, you know, hopefully you brothers have been edified. We want to give all honor and all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to all you brothers out there pushing the scriptures in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.